Yo, what's going down, everybody? Brother Stefani's here. Welcome back to Command Center Wargaming. Fantastic, everybody. So, yeah, there's a bit going on. I'm nearly finished my Iron Hands Gorgon Terminators. They're looking pretty good. I've just got to go through and do the weathering and the chipping now. It's always a bit of a tough one painting black and getting it not to be just black. But I'm pretty content with how they're coming across. I don't think it's anything revolutionary, but I'm pretty happy with it. I think they're maybe tabletop standard, a bit higher, you know. So I got to get the whole army done like that. So that's sort of what I'm going for there. Also got a lot of games coming up, 30k, and there's a Flames of War tournament in Queensland. So one of my mates is playing in that, and what I'm thinking about doing is going through and seeing if I could do some filming there and making a bit of a documentary on Flames of War, which I thought would be cool, interview the players and stuff like that. Something a bit different, which is kind of what I originally wanted to do on this channel anyway. It was more sort of like, you know, making sort of movies at events and stuff and bat reps and stuff, but I'd like to do some bat reps. So the problem is basically just getting people to play with, who are willing to get me to record. So all good. Anyway, basically, yeah. So look, we're going to be having a look at the Warhammer Total War 3 trailer today. Now, I have seen it. I must say I'm pretty impressed with it. There are a few things where I'm kind of just like, you know, bloody hell, you know, not again. Aren't we over this now? But, you know, I must say I'm pretty optimistic about it in total. So what we'll do, watch the trailer. It's only like 3 minutes, and then we'll have a look and you know, have a little bit of a review of it. So let's get this one started here.
Peggy 16.
And see how it goes. I got my soda water here, guys.
Death is like the winter chill.
It's something.
Let's
close that ad. YouTube get the double ads. Dead Bodies is always a good start, you know, for Warhammer.
My child, there is so much to tell you, and I have run out of time. The sacrifice I made was not enough.
That shot's good,
Dark
but that one,
gods
it's
still
not
feed
finished.
on our transgressions.
That's awesome.
Corruption,
That's awesome.
obsession, deceit, rage.
There's the big man called himself.
You must face these demons.
Come on, Ice Queen, let's do it. We've already had like 6 other Whammon in the series the last 3 months, so of course we've got to have another one. That's epic. Epic. Yeah, some epic stuff. Some really, really epic stuff here. Some cinematography too, shot breakdowns. Yeah. That's about it. Kind of got your Vlad smacking up, the blood letters. Oh, that is a kind of potent on my shirt. Here we go. So we've got a blood letter, bloodthirster. It's got the double axe of corn. Nice clean coat in the snow. No wear and tear. And now I'm gonna magic this demon's ass. Just like Blizzard, World of Warcraft, Blizzard his ass. Awesome, fantastic. I said ass a lot in this video. That's wicked. So the body's piling up and stuff, and the logo's looking sharp as, which is awesome. I'm loving it. It's really good logo design. Oh, there's more. So there's like a Marvel sort of after the credit roll. Yeah, so that's a pretty big one. We'll talk about that. So I believe it's Kayan or Cheyenne or something like that, or Kana. It's basically a Eastern or Oriental land within the Warhammer fantasy universe, which, interestingly enough, hasn't really had much covered on it, as far as I know. But for some reason, the Creative Assembly are putting it in there. Now, some people have been saying that, it's because of the whole, inclusion thing or whatever, or pandering to the China audiences. Look, to be honest, I don't really care. As long as it's as long as it's good and it's a well flashed out faction, and as long as it's, the mechanics are good, the units are well fleshed out, serve a purpose, and it's balanced. That's really all I care about. Like, as long as it just doesn't get chucked in there for marketing, they put like a big dragon on the front, to ship it over the Chinese market. And then it's just, you go to play it, it's just like, well, it's just shoveled in there for nothing. That's when I'll have an issue with it, if it affects the gameplay or the story in a negative way. I'm not really fussed. Like, I think it's, an extra faction in the game is hopefully a good thing. There's more variety, more playability, more replay value as well in the game. And it means that, if you sort of like release a game with sort of an Asian faction in there, it's probably going to sell better in Asia, and which means that they're going to make more money, which means we're going to get more content. So, yeah. So, let's just break the trailer down. The first thing, okay, so the whole garage band music, I don't know what it is like with modern day games. Maybe I'm just getting old or something like that. Maybe I'm out of touch with like what's hip and cool, with all the teenagers and stuff like that. But I've noticed a lot of the games, the sort of next gen games, especially the bigger ones coming out, like Ubisoft, Creative Assembly, those kind of studios. They always start off with this like crappy little live band solo or kind of like song, and it's like, someone strumming a guitar, singing some crap, like, some kind of Nirvana shit, and it's just like it's not that it's an issue, but what did that actually bring to the trailer? Like, yeah, fair enough, it got my attention, right? Like, I'm talking about it, so it kind of did its job, but in the grand scheme of things, if you have a trailer, and people are going to watch that trailer because of the gameplay, it's like a gameplay trailer or a teaser trailer or whatever, then, get to it. Like, I don't care about some drunk hipster friggin' playing on his 3-string guitar. Like, who cares? Just roll on with it. So we could have saved about, 15 seconds. We could have seen the Creative Assembly logo, which is fine, and then moved into the actual trailer itself. So we did the Warhammer logo, and that's looking good. I really like that logo. I wish they would just use that logo and get rid of that bloody botched up, center positioned thing that they got going on everything now. But, we've bitched enough about that. So it's set in Kislev, and Kislev is, a lot of it is kind of playing on the whole Ukraine, Russian, sort of Eastern Europe sort of deal, I feel, which is great because it's like a pretty fantastic sort of aesthetic. A lot of the armor, you can see there's a lot of references to, the Rus armor and things like that, which is awesome. And obviously the snow, which is pretty big. And I think it's a really good contrast as opposed to the previous, just the Empire with the green forest. Then we had the Bretonians in the greener forest, and then, the orcs, and there was a lot of green. Then we had like the elves, the high elves in the second game, Total War 2. We had the high elves, and they were on that island, which was even greener. So, and I think we had the desert, which was kind of like in one of the DLCs with the Tomb Kings. So the color palette kind of shifted to the yellow. But I think that, this is a way to make it more interesting. and get away from the whole green thing. And then we had the lizard men with the pirate expansion pack, and that was in like a super dark green tropical like Caribbean environment. So we've gone like from light green to darker light green to green to forest green to like dark forest green, and it's just, I think it's a really really good sort of separation, having this being more in the snow, changing the color palette, changing the environment, giving us something different, because it is a third game. It's not a DLC. One of my concerns probably would have been that we're just literally getting like Dawn of War 2 on a new map again. Sorry, Dawn of War 2. Warhammer Total War 2 on a new map, or with a new campaign with a couple of extra races, sort of shoehorned in. That's probably one of my concerns, but hopefully that's not the case. It doesn't look like it's going to be the case to me, but it is what it is, so we keep playing it. And here we go. So we've got like sort of like a war tent here. We come to this chick, some kind of queen, I believe. I can't remember her name now. Now this shot's really good. For the most part, this trailer is very polished. Some of the parts of the trailer are polished, like this shot here, close up of the demons that's going to come up, are very polished. But I can't help but feel that a lot of the other shots are very rushed. They're using like snow to sort of cover up a lot of stuff, a lot of detail, which is fine. It's a Blizzard, I get it, but it's also something that they do when they, have a smaller budget, so they've got to make the models a little bit less detailed. So you pack smoke in the front, pack snow in the front. I don't know if you remember the Space Marines movie Ultramarine, about 10 years ago or so, and there was like smoke everywhere. There was like smoke on the ship, on the battle barge, smoke on the planet, smoke here, smoke there, and literally that was added in there just to cover up the fact that they botched all the animations. So, so that's really nice. This shot, however, I feel as though it's lacking in a lot. Especially with her face. I just don't feel that the specular is right on her face. I feel as though it looks very plasticky and waxy. I mean, she's got caked makeup on. She's always pristine throughout this whole thing. But a bit of uncanny valley there on that shot of her face. We need a little bit more sort of grit, a little bit more detail, a little bit more specular breakup on the cheek. You can see that big hot spot of light just popping up there. The environment, once again, very dark. A lot of stuff is hidden. So why I'm bringing this up is because I have a concern that, it's just a pump and dump. So it's basically like, okay, we want to make a quick buck. Let's spend the least amount of money possible to make the most back, and then the game just ends up suffering for it. So usually you can tell by the effort they go to with like the first trailers. And, we are in the third, sequel now, in the trilogy of these games. So it would make sense. Usually the budget gets smaller with every one. But it's funny because a lot of people saw this coming because in the original Total War game, there was actually assets in there and code in there for naval battles and heaps of stuff that wasn't used. Also elements of the map, extensions of the map. So in the actual game assets. So that's how everybody kind of knew this was going to be a bigger thing. I actually predicted they were going to bring Sigma into it, sort of bring the Sigmarines into it and stuff like that, sort of do an end times thing. But obviously not. Maybe that will be, Total Warhammer 4. Okay, but it would be nice to see some store cast Eternals, I reckon, in there, sort of smacking people up with their hammers and stuff. But let's keep going, see how it's going there. Yeah. Now this is fantastic. You can see here the difference of the quality of this shot and the last shot. The last shot was a lot less polished. This shot here got some lovely breakup here in the specular, lovely lighting, lovely ambient occlusion, just really nice, really polished shot. Even the smoke over here is very look at the cloth, So look, as a trained artist, I look at these things. I know not everybody does, but like I said, it usually gives me like an inclination of what's to come in terms of the quality of the game. So then you've got the, I believe it's Slanesh there, awesome, Zinch with his 3 eyes. We travelled down his mouth. I thought that was a wicked touch. And then Korn himself. So yeah, I can't help but feel that it was a bit of a Diablo vibe from that one, from Korn. But it is what it is. And there we go. So, I mean, this is another example of, some compositing, which I feel is not quite too crash hot. We've got that crack running across the front of I guess she's looking in a mirror. So I suppose that would make sense if the crack was, I mean, if we were her and we were looking at our reflection, I suppose that would actually make sense. But I don't know. I just feel that it's could have been a little bit better. And, I think maybe her face was one of the main things. So the other thing is as well, here she goes. She's heading out to smack up some dudes, whatever. But the I've noticed with the Total War games, I don't have any issue with it, like whatever. But we've had like heaps of DLCs, or just like heaps of DLCs on and on and on with Total War 2. And that's fine, that's great. Like I said, more content. But I've noticed that like the last 4 packs have been like epic warrior woman hero character followed by epic warrior woman hero, and it's just like the same thing all over again. It's just like, and then you have like orc hero, and Skaven. So the last like 3 packs have been like chick hero and Skaven hero. Like, you check it out on Steam, you'll see that. And yeah, I mean, look, whatever, but it would have been nice to have broken the pattern and had like maybe a mix of 2 warriors in the limelight. But look, I believe this princess is really iconic in terms of the story. That's what I've been told. I'm not actually 100% sure on the lore of fantasy as much as 40k. So, whatever. I mean, she looks cool. She looks like a mix of the Snow Queen and bloody someone else, but it is what it is. The animation is quite good. We got some expression here. I mean, that shot's good. You see the lighting there on a face and that. Those bears are epic. I can't wait to like smash them down. This is a shot I was talking about. Dark, full of snow. So you can see it's hiding a lot of the bad, not bad, but unfinished sort of models and stuff. But it is what it is. Khorne Berserkers, fantastic. One of my favourite units in the fantasy. Just love them. Love the look at them. Love them on the table. I've got a fair few of them. I think I did a video on the channel showing my very poorly painted Chaos Warriors from like 4 years ago or something. One of my fantasy armies. It's on there. You can dig through the videos. You can have a look. So it's good that we got some scope there as well. I missed that in the first pass. The previous shot where the armies were converging. I missed that in the previous pass. I think that's good. Gives it a sense of scale. I do think, though, that shot could have gone on a little bit longer. Henceforth, we could have taken the bum strumming on his guitar at the start of the trailer out and had like a couple more seconds of that. With maybe some kind of like dragon flying over from the Kayans or Kayans, whatever they call themselves, the Asian faction. That would have been fairly epic, because I did see there is some production art which has some dragons and stuff like that in it. It's going to be interesting because Games Workshop and Creative Assembly are literally going to have to like create their own faction now anew. So, and I believe they could do it. I have faith in Creative Assembly. Whoever's been working on the Warhammer Total War games, I have faith in them. I don't agree with everything they've done, but I think that for the most part, they've made an absolutely wicked game in the Total War series. Some of the expansions have been really good, and I haven't really seen a bad one. As long as we keep the Dawn of War 3 people off this one, Creative Assembly, then you're going to be fine. But the problem is, when it comes to Warhammer games and Creative Assembly, personally, because of that debacle, which was Dawn of War 3, and I'm going to do a video on that one day, I'm telling ya, but the problem is I haven't, because it's just probably going to get, it'll probably get my channel shut down because I'm just going to rip the shivers out of it. Because of that game was just so much freaking garbage. Like, I can literally... yeah, anyway. We're not... That tangent. I went on a tangent. I'm sorry. So, some cool sort of like Viking era armor. And that's what we need, you know? Like, we need something to break it up from the more sort of like Germanic, English sort of armor influences of the other Total War games. Bloodthirster looks really good. Looks epic. Yeah, love the axe, the sword design. I mean, here's another thing as well. So you've got this chick, everybody's dirty except for the chick, right? There's like not a spot of ice on her. There's like been a blizzard. She's throwing snow. She's throwing ice. She's got, you know, bloody snow cones and Slurpees going on all over the shop. Yet there's not one piece, like there's not one snowflake on her. You know, and this is a thing that I was getting before about like the woke stuff with Creative Assembly. Like, I get the Raylo, I get the Ray Skywalker vibe from all their chick characters. And it's just like put some vulnerability in there. Like, what makes a character strong is actually like, you know, giving them weaknesses, giving them vulnerabilities. You know, like when you have like a character just walking out, I'm badass, I'm the best as ever, and you know, and I'm just gonna like one shot a friggin' Bloodthirster without even a snowflake on me. It kind of suspends my disbelief, you know. And this is a thing. It's an old rule from like screenwriting, actually, like since the beginning of filmmaking. It's just that when you make the hero look weaker, when you make the hero look weaker than the villain, then they actually are stronger because the villain is like more menacing. So, you know, and I don't really get that here. You know, it's like it kind of actually, I feel it just diminishes the character. You know, to be honest. But anyway, that's another video, guys. That's a bit of screenwriting stuff. Been talking to China. You know, getting paid to tell them how to make movies good. So, it's pretty awesome. I actually work on real stuff, not just YouTube. I just do YouTube for fun. Everybody knows that. So, yeah, that's fantastic. That's epic. It's got the bodies, like the pile of armor, like just chewed up. It would have been awesome to have it coming out of, you know, Grandfather Nurgle's mouth or something like that. But it is still awesome. And then the fantastic logo, which I really love. It's sharp, it's crisp, the colors are right, the contrast is right. You know, it's readable. You know, you've got everything you need there, and it's aligned, unlike the new 40K logo. So, you know, all good. But yeah. Well, all in all, you know, let me know what you think in the comments down below, guys. I think it's really good. I think it's really good. I'm very optimistic about it. You know, nothing's going to be perfect. When I look at these things, like it's the same with Astartes. Everybody goes off their chops at Astartes and they're like, oh my God, like, you know, it's one guy. First of all, it wasn't just one guy who did it. There was like many artists. One guy worked at City Project Red. The other one was that Erasmus guy from the Lord Inquisitor trailer. So it wasn't just one guy that made Astartes. I don't know why everybody keeps freaking pumping that. Like the other artists are cited at the end of the credits on the last episode. But yeah, when I look at stuff like that, I'm a little bit more critical than a lot of people. And it's just because I do this as a job. It's like all the Warhammer you see in my room, the Thunderhawk gunships, the boxes of stuff you're not seeing right there. You know, I don't get, you know, Games Workshop don't send me stuff for free because I say it's glorious. I pay for all that with my own money that I earn from working on games and movies and teaching about games and movies. So, yeah, awesome, fantastic. But, yeah, all right. Well, look, so everybody, fantastic. Let me know in the comments down below what you reckon. Are you keen for this game or do you not give a crap? And let me know, you know, if you think, disagree with me at all in what I'm saying in the comments. You know, maybe like I'm wrong. Maybe it's a bucket of crap. Maybe it's, you know, yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. And I'll catch you in the next video, everybody. I'll see you then.